Sometimes you just want to create explosive chaos like some sort of 90s action hero. Today I am playing Just Cause 4, the fourth entry in the long-running action-blasting open-world series. I want to thank Square Enix for providing me this free copy, giving me the ability to share it with you fine folks. With that said, I will give my honest opinion of the game. Actually, I was encouraged to do so by the developer. Oh boy, they really shouldn't have done that. Okay, the game is not as bad as some outlets are reporting. In fact, this mindless shooter does have some redeeming qualities, and for that I'm going to structure this impression a tad bit differently. I'm going to discuss the good, the bad, and the decent. Starting with the good, the moment-to-moment gameplay is frantically fantastic. Consider it a playground for a maniac addicted to total destruction. With a mixture of weapons and gadgets, you'll be blowing structures to pieces while zooming head-on into gunfights. It's this sort of gameplay that creates fun play scenarios. By tinkering with your tethered hook, you can make objects lift, string them together, as well as fling yourself across the map. Throw in an assortment of weapons, vehicles, and gadgets, and we have a game that lets you play with the world in ways few other games do. Shooting feels arcadey, destruction is rewarding, and messing with the physics can create some laughable experiences. Surprisingly, I really enjoyed the aircrafts. The feeling of piloting a death machine is just right, and taking a leisurely flight across the map is relaxing. Even driving cars has its pleasurable moments. Speaking of the map, there is a great variation in terrain here. Everything from jungles to cities, even snow-capped mountains, giving you a host of structures and plant life to demolish. Plus, the trinkles of unlockable gear that come from completing missions makes for a system that kept me engaged in its gameplay. If you are at all familiar with the Just Cause gameplay, then you know the mayhem that awaits you, and is just as memorable as you remember. Now on to the bad. This game looks like it was developed for the PS3 and remastered for the PS4 without going through testing. The graphics leave a lot to be desired. I'm talking low-res textures, glaring pop-ins, and the occasional poorly rendered cutscene. I am the first to acknowledge that graphics don't make a game great, but the amount of issues here become very distracting. I think this game needs a huge patch, or a graphical overhaul, or maybe a competent modder to make it look as lush as it needs to be. Those with a keen eye may even think that Just Cause 3 looked better. I know the water effects definitely do. I am not sure if this game was rushed, but I am sure it did need a bit longer in the oven. Another issue is the overall mission structure. Early on, missions become repetitive, and soon you will be wondering, didn't I just escort these prisoners a few minutes ago? How many times do I have to flip a switch, shoot waves of baddies, and flip a switch? Did I mention you have to flip that switch? It's this redundancy that hampers the experience and turns the fiery fun into a wet noodle. I would have liked to have seen more thought put into these missions, and at times I feel like a prisoner myself as the missions boil down to repetitive menial tasks. Now for the decent. The story here is actually pretty good. It's not Oscar worthy, but it kept me paying attention due to its few twists and turns. Sure, it may be the usual Just Cause fare, lead a rebellion to rebel, but the zany cast of characters make the journey worthwhile. Plus the ongoing war that persists as you play makes you feel like your utter destruction plays a part in the grand scheme of things. This game has you place your army across the map as you take over certain regions, allowing you to unlock more missions and gear. This is the dangling carrot. It's an aspect that definitely gives the player a sense of control, even if that's a false sense. If there's anything else to keep me playing besides the Destruction Derby sandbox, it's to find out the why behind the man-made thunderstorms. So now that I've parachuted across a burning landscape, you're probably wondering if Just Cause 4 is worth buying. Well, that depends on your gaming tastes, as well as your action-blasting expectations. If you are a fan of this series and have played every entry up until this point, the chances are you already own it, or you're definitely considering it. For those individuals, you won't be disappointed. It offers all the things you want, with subtle differences that make it at least worth looking into. The same over-the-top gameplay is here, and the droplets of unlocks are welcome. If poor implementation of mediocre graphics are a deterrent, then maybe wait for a patch, or even a price drop. Now for those who have no idea what all the chaotic fuss is about, this game may not be your cup of gasoline tea. You might want to look into Just Cause 3, as that game works as a perfect entry point into the series. Some might argue it's a better game, and in some cases it is. I only say that because Just Cause 3 still felt new, fresh, and fun. While this entry still feels fun, the freshness of the cool breeze may be starting to wear off. So keep your mind parachute open, your ammo expectations low, and your helicopter hype to a minimum, and you just might find some joy in becoming a rebellious mayhem-inducing fire starter. As always, thanks for watching Tiny Little Games. Please subscribe to support my channel, like for more impressions, and ring that notification bell for video updates. Fun fact, I haven't eaten a cup noodle in about a month. Isn't that crazy?